Hello, and welcome to Amaflow Productions. In this video, we'll be looking at some of the key principles behind basic editing. We'll be using the Audacity platform or DAW. Normally in our studios, we'll use Adobe Audition to clean up our files, and then we go into Logic for mixing and plugins. But Audacity is readily available, so those brand new to sound editing can generally have access to that. And it definitely has what we need to demonstrate the basic principles of mixing. So welcome aboard and let's get to creating. Okay, but before we get started, let's do a quick refresher on WAV files, how to save them, send them, and open them up.
All right, so let's take a look at where things go when we save them in Audacity, how to zip them and send them, and then how to find and open them. So the first thing we want to do is save one file at a time. So I'm going to solo this beat here. It's called Work for Red, and we'll put file, export. We'll save it as a wave. All right, so then this comes up, save in, this is saying match. If you click this right here, this shows us that downloads new for verses match is where this is going. But let's say we want to save it somewhere else. Let's go to documents and let's make a file in documents. How do we do that? Create new folder right here, click that, and we'll call this work, I think is what, yeah, work for red. So we'll call it work for red. That's our new folder. Click down there or just double click on it. Now we're saving this in documents, work for red. So let's save that wave file. And here it comes where I'm not going to put all that in there, but you can. All right, so that wave file. Now, you see all this blank space here? We want to make sure it's saved that blank space so that when the person we're sending it to opens it up, that verse lines up where we want it to line up. So we're going to click solo. Same thing we did with that one. We'll go file, export. Export as waves. We see work for red. It's in the same place, but if we wanted to check, we can click that. We see it's documents, work for red. So we're good there. So let's go ahead and say, but that's called work for red, and this is called work for red. That's not going to be good. It's going to overwrite. So let's name this work for red verse. I think that first one was beat, and I should have named that beat. We'll go back and do that just so we can say. And we're not going to put any of that in there now. All right, so we can close this out now. Save project now. All right, so let's go down here, this little folder there, and go to documents here. And there we have work for red, click that, and there's the two verses we put in there. So now this is what we can pull into if we wanted to open Audacity. And we can just pull those in. That's our beat. And that's our verse. Get this out the way so you can see. But yeah, so that's how we do it. You know what? Let's go ahead. I'm going to close this out. No need to save that. I need to save it. Okay, I'm not gonna worry with it in this now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back down here. Let's go to documents, and we right click on this. This is a new thing. And we can go to compress. And that's the compressed file that you would send somebody that was working on it. Normally you have more than just two, waves in there. But all right, I think that gets it. So back to the basic editing video.
All right, so when we talk about listening environments, you're going to want to start off with a really good pair of flat headphones. Now, I use the Samson Z45s. Yeah, with that little background, it's acting a little crazy. I also have some Rockville M50s. I haven't really used those yet. They just came with a really cool combo I got. But trust me, everybody hates mixing to their earbuds or the speakers on their computers or speakers in the room and then going to the car and it sounds, just terrible. If you start off with a good pair of flat headphones, you'll be ahead of the game. Okay. So what we're going to do now is take a really good listen to the vocals. So let's solo this top verse here, highlight it, and now let's play and listen. And what I've done already is pull the volume as you're playing it.
Smell the aroma.
Pull
Cuban
your
cigars and
volume
cognac, Versace
to
cologne,
where
and it's
there's no
strong. It's the
red,
Don Mac, fresh from head to
and
feet,
then really
immaculate
turn
physique.
up
He
your
nods his head to the
interface
beat,
so
but
that
ain't
you're
nothing
hearing
sweet.
it really
Steps
well.
up to the bar and orders up a double. She catches his eye, that ain't nothing but trouble. She's looking for a guy to have fun for the night, but he's the PI that can manage your life. He told her, put your hands in mine, I'll take you round the world. Teach you about the game, you have diamonds and pearls, you have everything.
So I'm hearing a lot of breaths, intakes of breath, and some positives. Like so, I'll probably call the artist and make sure they're using a pop filter. See, where they're positioning themselves by the mic to see if we can clean some of that up during delivery. But we're going to go in and get rid of some of the breaths and smacks. Now, what I want you to do is go through first, though, and listen to each track. We've already got that highlighted, so you can just solo the next track and give that a listen as well. Don't forget to, adjust your volume to where it's not in the red here, but you can really hear it well, and you can turn it up, via your interface there. But give each track a listen. That's what I'm gonna do, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we picked this section to demonstrate how to remove the breaths and unwanted sounds. Let's give this a quick listen.
To the bar and orders up a double. She catches his eye, that ain't nothing but trouble. She's looking for a guy to have fun for the night, but he's the PI.
Okay, so we can hear all those breaths in there, right? So what we're gonna do is let's go command and three, let's go one. And what we're gonna do is stretch it out there. Now, these are the breaths right here visually. I've done this a while so I can kind of see them, but let's highlight this right here and play that. You hear that? And so what we're going to do to erase that, well, here, let's play it a little bit because you want to make sure you're not cutting off words and you do just have what you need.
Sweet.
Yeah, we go right here. And to erase that, all we're going to do is go to Effects, Amplify, and just pull this all the way down. Click OK. See, you can see it right here now. You click OK, and it just erases it. Now let's listen.
Up a double. She catches his eye. That ain't.
There's a little one there. And now when you go to effect, you can just repeat amplify and it'll take it out for you.
Up a double. She catches his eye. That ain't nothing but trouble.
I'm going to take that one out too. And so basically, you're just going to go through all the files and then the stuff like that you really hear, just go ahead and erase that, so that when we're doing the compression and amplify all of that stuff, we're not amplifying these things that are giving us problems. All right, so go through and erase all the breaths and clicks and jump back in. All right. So we've got all of our breaths and clicks and any other sounds that we didn't like taken care of. And now we're going to start looking at the plugins. So let's play this section right here. I've soloed this track.
Smell the aroma, Cuban cigars and cognac, Versace cologne and its throne, it's the Don Mac.
So we got it at a nice level. It's not peaking in the red up here as it's playing. Now, the first thing that I'm going to want to do is a graphic equalizer. Now, this is a setting that I have for Dirty Red, but let's flatten that. And what I want you to do is go from 5K up and just turn these all the way up. I mean, you've heard it play. I just want you to hear what this does. And matter of fact, let's take these and pull them down. So all the way down, we'll pull to 50. Now let's preview that.
Smell the aroma, Cuban cigars and cognac, Versace cologne and its throne.
So I just wanted you to get an idea of what it's doing. I'm going to flatten that. I've already played around with this for Dirty Red's voice. And so we'll go manage here, user presets. And this is what I came up with for him. Generally, I would say these first two, you're going to want to lower them to just get rid of some of that crispness. That's the high-end stuff. Then you're going to want to raise these. So starting at 12K and just build you a little stairway as how it generally works for me. Same thing down with the low end. We'll cut out, 50 and below, and then just scaffold it here. But yeah, just play around with it, find something you like, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Next thing I'm going to do for this is I want to add a little treble. And so I bring him up about 4 decibels. Let me close this so you can hear it again.
Smell the aroma, Cuban cigars and cognac, Versace cologne.
So we've already taken, raised some of the highs there, cut out some of the low end, but I'm just going to boost his treble a little more. So I have it at 4 decibels there. I'm going to apply that. Okay.
Smell the aroma, Cuban cigars and cognac, Versace cologne.
And really for him, that's all I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that to each of these. You can go ahead and pause this and get yours how you want it. Once we do that, we're going to take a look at setting the levels. So go ahead and pause this and get your sound how you want it there. All right. Now make sure you have your headphones on. Like, I'm not doing this with my headphones because I wanted to pick up what we're doing. And that's probably impacting, how things were sounding when we were listening to the differences in the graphic equalizers, for instance. But if you're doing that with your headphones on, like if you're pausing the video and actually playing with your own stuff, you'll see the dramatic difference. And the headphones are going to be really important here because we're going to do some stuff with panning with these ad libs. So the first thing we want to do is let's just solo the beat. And we're going to be paying attention to our levels here. Let's just make sure we've got a nice level for the beat, and it gives us some room to increase the loudness when we're adding our vocals. So let's see where we're at. So we're peaking like right about here, which is great. Plenty of room to add our vocals. So let's stop. Okay, so let's start just with one main vocal, and we'll pull everything all the way down. Okay. Well, they're soloed anyway. But okay, so let's play this and we'll gradually start bringing up the vocals until we get it to a level we like. All right, so let's play this and we'll just gradually bring it up until we get it to a level we like.
It's over for y'all.
I think that's good. Let's unmute this and slowly bring it up.
That ain't nothing but trouble. She's looking for it, gotta have fun for the night. But here's the PI that can manage your life. He told her, put your hands in mine, I'll take you round.
So now what we're gonna do, looking at these, we're gonna go left and right. And in fact, I'm probably gonna mute these and let's just get them to where they sound good to us solo. Then we'll put them with everything, and if it's competing, we'll bring them down some. And you're going to be able to hear this a lot better with your headphones. The way I'm doing this right now, it's all playing into my mic. Now I could record it and save the files, and when I'm in my software editing, bring those files in so you can really hear them, but that takes a lot of time. And so just trust me and verify with your own system and your headphones. Now, earlier we talked about having good studio headphones that are flat, so you're not dealing with the boosts and mids or the boost and bass or whatever that's in your headphones, and it's going to give you a truer sound, and you'll understand and hear what's going on, and that way when it's played across systems it's still consistent. So the Rockwell M50s, these are great headphones, flat response so you can really hear. I use the Samson Z45s. I can't pull them in now right now, but that's great. And what it does, it just gives you a flat response so you can hear and mix a lot better. So you should be wearing that as you're listening to these, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to mute the main vocals, and we'll start with just this one. I'm going to pull this one all the way to the left. I'll pull the other one all the way to the right, just for some variety there. And let's give this a listen here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's going to be about where I want it. I'm going to pull this one to the same level. So where is that? -5.
Yeah.
All right. And let's bring that one in.
Yeah. Diamonds and pearls. Yeah. Guys like you.
All right, so now let's pull them all together and see what we're dealing with. We will unmute everything.
Over for y'all. Smell the aroma of Cuban cigars and cognac. Versace cologne and his throne is the dumb night. Fresh from head to feet, immaculate physique. He nods his head to the beat, but ain't no sweet. Steps her to the bar and orders up a double. When she catches his eye, that ain't nothing but trouble.
Okay, so it sounds good. Now what we want to do is go ahead and export this file. We'll take all the highlights off. We will go to File, Export, and export as WAV. We'll put it on the desktop as hunting. I'm gonna put underscore verse underscore one. So let's save that. Your tracks will be mixed down and exported as one stereo file. Perfect. Click OK. Click OK. I mean, you can fill all this out. Let's just do it. Dirty Red. Honey. First verse. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and close this out. We'll save it. Let's open a new project. And we'll pull that in. Let's take a listen here. So I think this is my verse.
Orders up a double.
Yeah, we'll go.
She catches the feet, immaculate physique. He nods his head to the beat, but ain't no sweet. Steps her to the bar and orders up a double. When she catches his eye, that ain't nothing but trouble.
Now see, he compared. So I've got a lot of effects on mine now. For what we're showing, this sounds good. This was mixed in Logic, and it has a lot of plugins on it. I actually have them in Audacity, so I'm gonna put some on there and see if we can't get it close to that to sound like that. But just listening at what we have here, that's good. And what I was going to say, the next level for this, if you were mixing everything in Audacity, I would go to the effect. Let's look at the compressor. Let's preview this and see what it sounds like.
To the beat, but ain't no sweet. Steps her to the bar and orders up a double.
Okay, I think that's gonna do it. So let's go ahead and apply this. But what we'll do, let's look at where this is at. Cancel. I want to broaden this out. Let's take this all the way to the end. And let's push this about there. And we'll go effect, compressor. And I'm just going to take the standard settings here. Okay. That's a little much, huh? So let's do the amplifier. And I'm just visually trying to get it to look close to what we got there. So I'm going to take this down 3.5 and see what we got. That's pretty close, wouldn't you say? So let's give it a listen now. And I see a peak there I don't like, but
It's over for y'all. Smell the aroma of Cuban cigars and cognac. Versace cologne and it's thrown. It's the Mac. Fresh from head to feet, immaculate physique.
I think that's nice. And let's do it right here, because it comes in a little soft. Effect, compressor. Go ahead.
That's my point of view. I'll let Rad talk to y'all. Can somebody but if you ask the bun, it's over for y'all. Smell the aroma of Cuban cigars and cognac. Versace cologne and it's thrown. It's the Mac.
That's what we want, right?
Immaculate physique. He nods his head to the beat, but ain't nothing sweet. Steps into the bar and order.
All right, so there you go. Now you would just export this, and you've got a really nice mixed track, all done in Audacity. So let's go to export. Export as wave. We'll name it, verse 1 _ final. Let's throw that on the desktop. Dirty Rat, Hummingbird, first verse. I'm gonna put final. Or no, that final would just be more for us. That's great. And we don't need to say that. But there you go. That's basic mixing. Get in there and make something. You know what? I'll throw the Discord on there. Feel free to go in there. I've got some tracks. You can play around with that. I believe I have some. I may have some acapellas in there, so you could mix with mine, or I probably have the verses already on the beat. So yeah, try it out and let me know what you're making.